This conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. So, nothing related to automation today, but it's very important interview question that how will you write different test cases for login test cases? Because I generally get disappointed whenever I ask this question and someone is giving the answer like only two or three test cases, that person is covering. This is not the right way of, giving the answer for login test cases because this is very important interview question and it shows your knowledge, it shows your experience that okay, hey, how many different positive, negative, different use cases, different corner cases, edge cases you will cover. Some people they just give only two or three positive in scenarios, they don't cover any negative testing and then they just say that okay, yes, this is what I know. No, this is not the right way of giving this answer, guys. Right? So I thought of creating this because I got a couple of queries on how to write the best test cases. So how to cover the best test cases so that we can convince our manual testing skills as well. It's not about automation all the time. We have to convince our manual test and manual QA concepts also. So this is very important. So, and login page is a very common question, and because this is the most critical page, I would say on the because this is the entry point of your application. If your login itself is getting failed, or something is fishy, or something is going to hack, and it's not implemented properly, it means that it's a big blunder actually from the QA side that you haven't tested login feature properly. So that's why most of the people they want to know at a time of interview that how exactly your mindset with respect to login test cases, right? So we will cover different test cases and then we will see how to. So I'm not going to write the test cases. I'm just the proper end-to-end test cases. I'm just giving you different coverage. What are the different use cases you can cover? So login test case. Let's see. I'm going to divide into two parts: the functional and the non-functional part. So let's see. This is what are the different functional test cases you will write. So from functional point of view, the first thing is, let's see, verify the correct username, correct password. It means I would say valid username and password. So this is your positive test case, right guys? This is your positive test case because you have already registered a user, a valid username and the password through sign up or maybe the registration page is there. And then you're using this and you are able to log in into the application, right? Okay. Second thing is that totally invalid, right? Invalid username and invalid password. So this is your negative test case that I'm having wrong username, wrong password, invalid credentials. So user should not be allowed to log in into the system. Apart from that, we can say that okay, a valid username but invalid password. So that is also your negative test case, guys. Okay. So this is also a valid username. Let's say you forgot your password, or maybe you don't remember, or there is some typo mistake. You are not writing your password correctly, but your username is correct. So user should not be logging into the system, right? System should not allow you to log in into the system. This is my expected behavior, and it should give you a message that okay, wrong password, or maybe wrong username or wrong password, like this. Sometimes we have to check that okay, completely blank username is there and blank password. So that is also a negative test case. You don't enter anything, you simply click on okay login button. Let's see, I'm giving you an example over here. This is the email ID and password. I'm not entering anything, I'm directly clicking on login. It's saying the email does not exist. So it should give you a proper error message. It should not allow you to log into the system, right? Okay. Apart from that, you can say that different combinations you can create. Let's see, blank username but some password, or some password or incorrect password or valid password. So that is also your negative test case. Other than that, you can say that let's see, valid username and blank password. This is also your negative test case, right guys? So with these, generally people these they say five or six these kind of use cases, but this is not enough, right guys? Apart from that, you have to think out of the box. You have to give some special cases. Let's see, verify the forgot password. So forgot password is very important for login point of view. You can ask if forgot password link is available or forgot password feature is available. You can check this. So this is also a forgot password feature. Okay, test I'll say, and this is your positive test case. And then you will change the password, and then I would say after forgot password, user should be able to log in, right? So this is your positive test case because you have changed the password, and then okay, like this you can say that. So sometimes we say forgot password, and or sometimes we say reset password. That is also your positive test case that you have to cover. You have to always tell forgot password, and the reset password feature should be there. There is no significant that okay, if the login page does not have forgot password or reset password, what if a user is not able to recognize his password or forgot his password, or they want to reset the password, right? So in that case, this particular test case should be tested. Other than that, always guys check invalid. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, always check that okay, invalid use cases and the messages, what kind of messages are coming right on the UI, like please enter correct username, correct password. These kind of messages I'm talking about, you have to explain. So let's say I'm entering wrong username and the wrong password, but if I'm clicking on login button and there is no message, so this is the wrong implementation. This is not user friendly. The user is not able to recognize what is happening over here, right? Let's say I'm entering some wrong username, wrong password. I mean, correct username, correct password, and this guy is not giving me any proper information. Then it does not make sense that okay, what exactly and where exactly I'm doing wrong. There are some applications, I'll tell you. See, if you go to classiccrmpro.com and you enter wrong username, or let's say correct username and the wrong password, and you click on login button, it does not give you any information. The page just got refreshed, it's saying the same thing, right? So this is not okay, right implementation. It should show, system should show that okay, hey, please enter your correct username or correct password or something like this. So some message should be there, guys, right? So this is also your positive test case you should consider for all the invalid use cases, or you can say, yeah, this is negative test case. The proper message should be there. After that, what else? One more thing, that when you enter valid username, let's say I'm using valid username and the password on home page, right guys? On home page, you should see, okay, the correct, whatever the logged in username password that you're using, the same username should be displayed. It's not like, let's say you logged in with the user Tom, but it's showing welcome Naveen, right? Or maybe some other user. It's a very, very important test case, guys. You should always check, either it is manual testing and automation. Whenever you are logging into a system on the home page, you have to check that correct username is displayed or not, right? The correct username is logged in or not. So on home page, I would say a check valid username or whatever the account name or whatever it's there. So this is again a positive test case, I would say. Apart from that, we have a remember me feature if it is available. So that is also a positive test case that you should check that okay, if there is a remember me checkbox is there, then you can valid in that case also. This is a positive test case, you should always check this. Single sign on, SSO, this is also very important, guys. This is called single sign on. Single sign on means if you logged in into the system, next time, let's see, after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, if you similar kind of application you want to open on the same browser, it should not ask you to log in again and again. In some organization, there is a single sign-on is there, that with multiple applications, you just need only one single sign-on. It means you just need to log in once, and rest of the other application, you don't need to enter the username password again and again. So single sign-on also, if it is activated, then you should also check it. So single sign-on is also there. What else? So this is again your positive test case, right? Other than that, check password field, right guys? It's coming in this form, right? Whenever you are entering the password, it should come in asterisk form or in this bullet point, okay, bullet points like this. If you see some application like this, right, the password should not be visible directly like this. Password should not be visible. See, on hubspot.com also, if you see, the password is not visible. So you should be very careful, because if you're showing the password in front of you, I'm entering my password in front of you, it means you are actually, I'm leaking my password in front of you, right? So this also be considered properly. Apart from that, one more check is there that, okay, these days some application they show password. So if the show password is there, then it should show the password. Let's see, whatever password I'm writing, test 123 or something like this, the password should be visible. And the moment I uncheck this show password, automatically it should be converted into asterisk or dotted format, right? 16 point is, okay, that what else? Other than that, one more important thing, that enter key. You enter username password and press the enter, right? Sometimes be that, okay, let's see, I've entered the username password and sometimes press enter, right? So it directly hitting the login button like this. So let's see, I'm entering my username over here. Let's see, check, see, enter. So I'm able to log in into the system, right? See, I'm able to log in. So I'm not clicking on login button, but after entering the username password, I'm directly jumping on, right? I'm directly jumping on login home page. So we are able to log in into the system without pressing the login button. So this is also, guys, we can cover. So this is important use case. You can write it. Other than that, so this is enter key, press enter key. This is your positive test case. What else? Other than that, one thing you need to check with your product manager or with your team, that, okay, what is a password policy, right? The password policy means, sometimes we say that, okay, password policy, that it should accept more than 8 characters, okay, more than 8 characters. And there are some policies like only alphabetic or alphanumeric, okay, alphanumeric combination. Let's see, no @ hash or some like dollar, such kind of characters are not allowed, right? Sometimes we see that. So this is your password policy, that you have created one policy that, okay, these are the rules. It should not be like this. If my password should not be less than 8 characters, right? So when entering the password, sometime it will say that, okay, this is easy password, or this is a medium password, or a strong password, or very strong password. So make sure that, okay, the password policy, according to the password policy implemented on your application, in your application, you should be able to check those use cases properly. This is again very important topic. I mean, very important use case, you can say that. So this is again your positive test case. What else? Other than that, let's see, if you think about uh, let's see, back button you click on. See, click on back button. You logged out and you click on back button, right? So, and you come on the login page and you click on back button. It should not be, okay, allow you to log in into the application. So click on login button after logged out. This is also, guys, you have to check as a negative test case. You have to check. This is also very important. Back and forward button. Okay, if you do that, user system should not allow you to do that, right? Okay. Other than that, let's see. Check password in browser cache and cookies. So this is also a very important positive test case, I would say, that if you are storing your username password in browser cache and cookies, make sure that, okay, the password is displayed in asterisk form, in the dotted form, and user is able to log in into the system properly. But if you delete the cache and cookies, in that case, immediately browser and application should not store those username and password, okay, in your cache and cookies, and you should not be able to log in, because in some banking application this is not allowed to do that, right? So this is, it depends application to application. If your application is preventing to preventing to store the password in cache, or maybe in cookies, or maybe some form data, in that case, you have to check these kind of applications very properly with this particular use case. Okay. So this is also, guys, you have to cover as positive test case. Other than that, you can check one more thing, that let's see, uh, expired user. The user got expired, right? So this is also very important, that expired user is having correct username and the correct password, but user got expired sometimes. So credentials got expired, something like this. Or maybe sometime in Outlook application, if your email ID password, your password got expired, you always get the notification that, okay, 3 days left or 2 days left and 1 day left, please change your password. And you are not able to do that, it means your password got expired. So expired, let's see, I would say password. So this is also a positive, I would say negative test case, you have to check, right guys? So expired password, like this. Or maybe your okay, blocked user. Some users are blocked. If your user is blocked, you should not be able to log in into the system, right? If you, especially in some banking application, that okay, if the user is blocked, you should not be able to do that. So blocked user for a specific time. So there are some different sub test cases you can write, that okay, for a lifetime blocked. Or maybe for sometime we say that okay, for 24 hours, your username is blocked, your account is blocked. So maybe for 24 hours, or maybe for some time, okay, blocking. So this is also for blocked user, guys, you can check that. Now you can see, I have written almost 21 test cases. And if you're giving all these test cases properly, it shows your knowledge, it shows your experience, that okay, yes, this guy is thinking out of the box, right guys? Okay, other than that, check login feature on different browsers. It's not like that, okay, your login is working on Chrome, it's not working in Safari and other browsers, or Firefox or whatever, right? So in that case, you have to check. Same thing, check login on different devices. It's not like, okay, login is working on browser, but it's not working on what kind of devices? It can be iOS devices, or it can be Android devices. It can be any tablet or something like this. So you should be able to log in, okay, properly on different devices if the application is supported on mobile devices or any tablet devices, or maybe your Android TV or something like this, right? So this is again one very important test cases you have to cover. Now the DB point of view, database, okay, the user validation in DB. Sometimes what happens that okay, user is blocked in database, but still you are able to log in. Or let's say some pending thing is there. Let's see, the user has not added any his driving license in the passport number or passport details, or maybe some very important document is missing while doing the registration. Although username password got created, but the verification of the username, verification of the email ID is pending. So you should not be login, or if you are able to log in immediately, it should tell you that okay, hey, this document or this information is pending from your side. So this is again a valid use case for login. So guys, user validation in DB, or I would say if maybe something is missing, okay, in that case you have to check. So in DB it's saying that okay, yes, this user is activated, but the email ID is not activated, or maybe this document is missing, something like this. So in that case you can check for DB point of view as well. Let's see, your driving license or passport, or maybe some important doc is missing, like this. Or let's see, email confirmation, right? Sometimes we say that okay, your email confirmation is pending. If this feature is available, definitely you should do that, right guys? And for reset password, forgot password, for everything it should tell you that okay, hey, you have changed your password, you have reset your password or something like this. So email, all email different I would say email notification, okay, email notification for login, I would say password related things should be there. So this is again your positive test case that you should write. What else? Apart from that, If you are using, let's see, there is a user, you already logged in let's see Firefox, and then you open a tab. Okay, logged in Firefox with, I would say, with user name 1. Open a new tab, and then you try to log in with username 2. This should not be allowed. So this is negative test case that, okay, on the same browser, how can you do that? Let's see, on the same browser, on Google Chrome, you are using, on Amazon.com, you are using Naveen, and you open a new tab and you are using some different user. It should not be allowed, right? Although you can do it in some other browser, but on the same browser, it should not be allowed. Or maybe in incognito mode, you can check, but on the same browser, okay, it should not be allowed. So this is again very, very important, guys. It can be Firefox, it can be any other browser. Apart from that, session, okay, session expired. If your session expired, right, that is also a negative test case. So let's say today you have logged in, and after 3 hours, again you are checking the page. Immediately it should say that, okay, yes, a session got expired. It should direct, okay, redirect to you to the home page or the login page once again. That, okay, hey, please log in once again into the application because your session got expired, and you have to keep checking that, okay, what is the limitation of the session. That maybe in some application there are, let's see, 30 minutes limitation, or maybe 1 hour limitation, or maybe in some banking application only 15 minutes, or maybe only 10 minutes. It depends like what kind of application it is. So session expired, this very, very important use case is there, right, guys? Okay, so guys, I think these are the very important test cases. You can browser compatibility and all those things. You can check that, okay, yes, I think I've already covered that, okay, on different browsers. So this is also part of your browser compatibility, right? Okay. Other than that, what else? Last thing we will cover with respect to, let's see. Okay, so I think these are the important one. You can add some more test cases if you have something is coming in your mind, but according to me, these are the very important 28 use cases for functionality point of view. Now let's talk about non-functional test cases. Non-functional test cases mean, let's see, performance and the security point of view. I'll check. So first test case, let's see, I'll write something, um, performance point of view, that should not take time, right? Should not take time to log in to app. It should not take time. This is very important that, okay, it should not take, uh, it's not like you just click on login button, it's taking around 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It's a clearly performance issue. It should not be able to do that, right? Okay, so this is one point, that login page should be immediately, it should be displayed on the page. There should not be any performance or server issues or something like this. You can check that. Other than that, what else? The usability testing point of view, you can check that all the valid messages and everything is coming, that we have already covered in functional. But again, this is also a non-function sometime, but okay. Uh, usability testing. Usability testing, that the proper, um, you know, validation messages like this. Apart from that, some alignment, the look and feel, right? Alignment, look and feel, proper alignments are there. Username, let's see, in this case, if the username is long, then it should be a big text field. It's not like a small text field, or button should be visible properly. These alignments should be visible properly, and every field should have these, certain labels over there, at what exactly it is representing or something like this, right? Like this. So usability testing and alignment, look and feel, these things are coming into this particular picture. What else? Uh, Apart from that, guys, some important security test cases that so I would say important thing, security point of view, we have already covered, especially with password policy, that we have already covered in functionality. So but password policy is very important once again. So I would write one thing once again, the password policy should be followed, right? Security point of view, like this. SQL injection. This is again that I should not write, okay, I symbol, right, let's see, select star from, I should not write it like this. See, sometimes what happens, I simply write a SQL query, select star from, I guess that, okay, there is a user table, okay, select star from user where email is equal to naveenanimation20@gmail.com. And the moment you press enter, sometimes, okay, it will give you the password. So some poor application, they are implemented like this. So this is very important, guys, that you have to check the SQL injection. You are injecting the SQL and trying to get the confidential and important information about that particular user. So SQL injection, such kind of syntaxes and everything, it's not, should not be allowed. So you can try with SQL injection as part of your security testing, right? So SQL injection you should test. What else? Back and forward, I have already told you. um, Different credential from the same browser, that is again I have already told you. SQL injection, SSL certificate, if any certificates are needed, so make sure that, okay, SSL certificate testing also you have to perform that login page is against SSL certificate, and implementation of the SSL certificate is there or not. So these are the different security test cases you can write. So guys, I tried my best to cover as much as possible. If you, okay, some more things are coming in your mind, you can put down in the comment section. And because I have written around 34, so I'm not saying that, okay, these are the absolute list. You can add more and more test cases like this, but don't give only basic. Some people, they give only top 5 test cases and they say that, okay, yeah, that's all. No, this is not the right way of giving the answer for login related test cases, guys. This is something very important you have to cover, right? The sessions, the browser compatibility, and then password policy, SSO, right? And back and forward and blocked user, or a DB related point of view, and then invalid user, and all those things you have to check it properly. The compatibility testing also, you have to test on the different browsers, different devices, and everything. So we have covered, I think, all those things. The usability testing, the look and feel is the least priority. Some people immediately say that, okay, yeah, I'll check look and feel, and that's it. And then what about your feature? What about your functionality? That's very important, right? So I think these are the things are coming in my mind. What else we can think about it? Session we have covered, credentials, different credentials we have covered. Apart from that, maybe some special cases. I would say one more special case for backend. You can check that in backend. See, this is something very important. On production, okay. What? See, carefully read, carefully see what I'm writing. A password should not be logged in logs, right? Customer customer password should not be logged, okay, in logs, because on server, on production server, let's see, I'm using my bank accounts, right? I'm entering into Citibank or HDFC Bank or HSBC Bank, and developer is able to see all the password logs in the log, in the log file, and my password is clearly visible. It should not be allowed. You have to test and you have to check that it's just not allowed, right, guys? So this is very important that you have to check. What else? Yep, one more thing I can say, encryption and decryption of the password. So whenever you are entering the password, let's see, my password is test123 or something like this. So whenever I click on login, it should be given, it should be stored in the database in an encrypted form. And whenever I retrieve, it should be decrypted and then it will be given to you like this. So encrypted and decrypted, you can check that, okay, in the log file, if in the log file, if you are storing the password, it should be in decrypted format. So let's say if your password is like this, if your password is like this, let's see, test123. So the decrypted format, something like this. So user, no one can understand, okay, what kind of password. But whenever again you are decrypting, okay, decryption is happening, and then it should be visible to like this to the user only, right? So encrypted and decrypted logic should be implemented properly. So this is again a very good use case that we can test it. What else? We are getting more and more test cases. Apart from that, if you see server point of view, that we have covered that, okay, yes, the performance we have covered, database we have covered, security, password, encryption, decryption, session ID, cookies, cache, back button, forward button, and password policy we have covered. What else? What else we can think about it? On different browser compatibility. Uh, yeah, one more thing. Some cases. See, let's say you are in India, right? You are in India and you logged into app, fine. And at the same time, okay, and see, at the same time, in let's see, in Germany, someone is logged into your app. Immediately, you should get a notification that, okay, hey, same username password is being used for this particular application from this particular geolocation from Germany, right? So you should able to notify it immediately from the application. So your application, the logic should be there that, okay, immediately it should identify that, okay, something is fishy over there, and user should be able to notify it immediately, like this, right, guys? So this is also important thing. What else? Yeah, one more thing. See, guys, we forgot about it. So this is again important test case, guys. The geographic location. If you are doing let's say you connected through VPN, or the VPN you're using in India, but the VPN is using from of America, right? So some America proxy VPN you're using. So obviously that it will log into system. It will behave like you have logged in into the system from India, and but again you connect to VPN, and then now you are logging into from Singapore or India or maybe or US or Germany. Immediately you should be notified, and it should give you all the history of your login and everything. So I would say, yeah. So history of login details, like this also you can do that. Apart from that, one thing also came into my mind. I just forgot. uh, Email confirmation that we have seen. Yeah, I think, yeah, history of login details I was talking about. What else? So whenever, like, I was a fresher or 4 or 5 year experienced guy, whenever I was going for interview that time, I always try to give as much as possible, because at the time of interview, interviewer will ask, okay, tell me something else more interesting. What else? What else? So you have to keep thinking and giving. You have to keep giving, all these different use cases in the scenario. It shows that, okay, yes, this guy can think out of the box, and always think out of the box while giving the manual test cases for any kind of feature, and login is very famous in that case. So that's why, like, see, in front of you guys right now in this recording, right now in this session, in this video, I'm just thinking and keep thinking. It's not like this, all these test cases I've already written somewhere and just, doing a copy paste or something like this. No, and I am just writing in front of you guys. So this is how you have to behave at a time of interview. Right? This is very important. And it shows that, okay, yes, this guy is thinking out of the box. So what else? We can see history of login and okay, different browser compatibility, device compatibility we have seen, right? And in some app, let's see, especially in app, okay, the mobile app I'm talking about. Let's see, in case of Uber, right? Mobile app is there. You log in with a device one, let's see, Samsung, okay, Samsung login, and at the same time you have a different device. Let's see, Apple, mm, iPhone 8 on, yeah, let's see, iPhone 8, and again you log in with the same credentials. You have to check it is allowed or not, right? So if you're logged with Apple iPhone 8, immediately it should be logged out. Samsung should be logged out. It depends, the feature to feature. It depends if they are, if it is allowed, then it's fine. So that is again mobile app point of view. You can check accordingly that, okay, yes, on a different device you just logged in, and like this, such kind of things also you can check, right? um what else? Performance we have covered. So this is again part of the concurrency that, okay, on this two different devices or multiple devices, you are using the same credential. It is allowed, then it should be allowed. Otherwise, it should not. Okay, allowed that. Okay, some application you will see that no, you have already logged in with some other device. Please log out from there. Okay. What else? Okay, so I think guys, that's all. I think these all the things are coming in my mind. So how many things we have covered? 28 plus 38 plus 11, right? So yeah, 28 plus 10, 38 plus 1, 39. Give me one more, we will touch 40. Let me think about it. 40 test cases we can easily write for such kind of things, guys. So what else we can write? SSL certification we have written. Yeah, SSL certification we have written. Different browsers we have written. What else? Other than that, okay, if some documents are missing, or especially let's see in stock exchange or something, when these kind of application, BSE and NSE and NASDAQ, you have to these documents are important. Otherwise, you cannot log in into the application, right? What else? Give me one more. I think. Let me think about it. Okay. Hmm. Remember me. We have covered. Yeah, got it. Unsuccessful attempts. Finally, yeah, 40 is covered. Unsuccessful attempts, right? It depends application to application. If three times wrong password, block the user for next 1 hour, right? 1 hour blocked. Sometime if it is on normal application, if it is 10 times wrong password, block the user. User is blocked for, let's see, 1 hour or 1 day or something, right? In ATM, we see that, okay, if we are entering more than 3 times, if you are giving our ATM or debit card pin 3 times wrong, it is your card is blocked for three days or 1 day, right? For 24 hours. So like this, unsuccessful login attempts. Yes, this is also a very good test case. You should think about it. Okay, guys. Cool. So that's all from my side. So finally, we have covered 28 plus 12, 40 test cases we have written for login. Now you can match your whatever the kind of answers you were giving so far for login, and it's applied on all other features also, right? So think out of the box. Okay, this is actually the main reason of creating this video actually, right? Suddenly I was thinking, okay, because I was like really disappointed whenever people are giving the wrong answer and not the complete answer, and they just give up after 2 or 3 test cases. I have seen a lot of time at a time of face-to-face interview. It looks very easy. Yeah, it's simple login name, username, password, but all these things you have to check. Okay, so I'll share this document maybe in my drive, and you can refer these test cases and please prepare accordingly. And if you have any other test case which I haven't covered in this video, please write down in the comment section. Okay, so thanks for watching Naveen Automation Labs, guys, and thanks. We have reached more than 70,000 subscribers. Thanks for your love and support, and keep subscribing and keep learning from Naveen Automation Labs channel. Thank you so much, guys.